Well, good morning. This is Paul Romero with the Swiss Gold Global IBO Training Review number 5, and I was looking for to see if John was going to pop in. I was actually just going to make an excuse for him, but there I see his face. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Paul.
Good. We got it all going here, right on. Last second, nothing like it. Squeaking it in.
Yep, 7:45. I was on time.
So it's all about. Actually, part of a little piece of what today's training call was about, actually. I just wanted to throw something out there to anybody who might be seeing these, anybody who might jump in and start following these morning calls that we're doing at 7:45 on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday we have obligations, so we're unable to keep these calls going on Tuesdays, but Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're going to look into adding a Saturday, so we have 5 days a week for you guys. I just want to let you all know that right now these calls are sort of random. There is no real structured. There's no real structured sequence or series that we're going through right now. We're just hitting on random business and mindset concepts that are vitally important to your success, not only in your business but in your life overall. So I just wanted to throw that out there and let you guys know that that's where we're at with this right now, and that we might be adding some more structured sequential type of trainings in the near future. And with that, we're going to jump right to what this morning's call was all about. We started off with a very key little factor of any kind of a training session that you might attend, which is taking notes, of course. And I just wanted to add to the fact of just taking notes that it's really important that you take notes with the pen. Ink and paper, much more beneficial, more retention is to write things down physically, opposed to typing them in onto your keyboard or your pad, whatever the electronic device that it is that you use. Writing things down is really important. A question for you, John. One thing I missed this morning. Do you recall the book or what it was where Jeff was coming up with the 4 qualities to live by?
Yes, the name of the book that Paul is referencing is Don Miguel Ruiz's The Four Agreements. That's the
Uh,
name of the book.
that's 4 agreements. Okay, all right. So, yeah. Well, that's pretty cool, actually. I have not read that book yet, and something that I definitely need to put on the list and get into me really soon, because these four qualities to live by, I guess, is kind of what they were going with. The first one is to be impeccable with your word. What would be your interpretation of that one, John?
Am I on? Okay, like Paul said, the first of the four agreements that are talked about in this book is number one, be impeccable with your word. Impeccable with your word, meaning you're true with your word. You don't sin against the things that you say, meaning if you say you're going to do something, you do it. You're honest with people. You're trustworthy. Uh, and words are power. Like in this universe, everything is energy and frequencies. And every word that comes out of your mouth carries a certain power. So it's about being careful that you use, choosing words carefully. Be careful about the word when you speak to others and what you say to others. And also with the words you use with yourself when you're talking with your inner self and talking about yourself and affirming or declaring things, is that you want to be real impeccable and choose your words very carefully, very wisely, because words are powerful things. They're a form of energy. They carry a frequency. There's a weight to your words, and you just want to be very impeccable and with the things that come out of your mouth, and stick to your word too. I'd like to just expand on that as like saying that you've heard the term your word is your bond. You want to be someone that is trusted, someone that is respected, and be a leader. Well, you've got to treat your words very carefully and with care. Anything you want to add to that, Paul, about that first agreement?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Really, I just kind of sum it up. What you just said there is, I mean, put it real quickly and shortly. Pretty much just do what you say you are going to do when you say you're going to do it. You know, that's it. I mean, it really comes down to nothing more than that. The second one, and if John will maybe put a little brevity to his answers here. We got a few things to cover this morning. So
Yeah.
the second one definitely was to take nothing personally. Why don't you give us your thoughts on taking nothing personally, John?
Yeah. I look at it this way. There's a lot of people out there that are going to give you positive reinforcement. There's also a lot of people out there that are going to cast negativity your direction. This is just kind of an inevitability of life, but you've got to learn to go through life without taking anything too personal. You know, if somebody insults you, or in our case, when presenting Swiss School Global, if we have someone that rejects us, our offer, this opportunity, or says no, you know, don't take it personally. There's nothing personal about it. And really, when people criticize, unless it's a constructive criticism, that's something different, or people speak negatively of you or look down upon you, you've got to really learn not to take that personally. That is a reflection of others. That's just kind of one example, if you will, of not taking it personally, which is the second agreement. I'll keep my answer brief. Anything you want to?
Yeah, no, I mean, each one of these subjects we could go on. I mean, we could make a whole session out of these that you know is an hour and a half long instead of just 20 minutes. So yeah, I just want to say that you know when you take things personally, you know, it's all you're really doing is you're just letting outside things affect you, and when you let outside things affect you, you're letting them affect your feelings, and when you let them affect your feelings, then you allow them to affect the way or the way you're going to do something or how you're going to do something. So taking things personally, you know, has a trickle down effect into you know how you actually get things done and how you act and react to certain situations. So the fourth agreement is to
Missed the third agreement.
don't, huh?
Missed
Oh,
the
one, two, three. Three comes after two, John. When did that happen?
and learn to count to four is another lesson for today.
Okay, the third agreement. So be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Number three is don't make assumptions. Give us a thought on that, John.
As the old saying goes, I like it, is, you know, when you assume something, you make an ass of you and me. Don't assume anything. Make sure when you communicate with people that you're clear about your communication, and don't assume that people are going to always get where you're coming from. And take that concept and use that idea to make yourselves more clear and more concise in your communications with people. You know, clarity. Be clear and make sure others are clear about your intentions. Don't assume anything. Don't assume that just because you say something, the other person understands it. And don't assume that when someone says something to you or you're in a particular situation, don't assume that your opinion is always right. I'll turn my time back to Paul.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know, this is kind of a tough one because I mean, you can't expect to know what other people are thinking or feeling, you know, or anything like that. And you also can't expect you can't expect for them to know how you're thinking or feeling. So you know, it's really difficult. I mean, that's like the secret key to communication is really just keeping that thought in the back of your mind that you know, hey, they have no idea how I feel or think, and I have no idea how they feel or think, and trying to bridge that gap is really what communication is all about. Um, so let's see if I can get this right. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth agreement. The fourth agreement now is to basically just always do your best. And I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, but you have a little thought on that, John?
You got to always do your best and act inside feel. If you're not feeling well, you still got to do your best. If things aren't going perfectly, you still got to strive to do your best. Just be your best you in every situation. I think that kind of gives a quick. I mean, obviously, like Paul said, we can talk about these subjects for a long time, but we still have so much material to get to. But I think that's the point here: is that you just always do your best. So a quick recap, and then I'll turn it back to Paul to add in his thoughts and move us along. Is number one, you be impeccable with your word. Number two, you don't take anything personally. Number three, you don't assume anything. And number four, you always do your best. And if you can learn and ask yourself, how can I apply these four agreements to my life? I mean, these four agreements will lead to personal development and truly personal freedom. What are your thoughts, Paul?
Exactly, and I'm just going to say these same four agreements in just kind of a different language here. And being impeccable with your word, basically, like I said earlier, is just basically just do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Don't take anything personally. Is really just don't let any outside factors affect the way you think, feel, and act. Take it upon yourself to have control of that at all times. Don't make any assumptions. Be clear and concise in your communications, and understand that you don't know what they think or feel, and vice versa. And always do your best. Of course, pretty much just trying to achieve the first three on a regular basis. And here's an interesting thing: is a lot of you probably maybe have never heard these or heard about these four agreements, kind of a thing, or never have these concepts presented to you. And what's interesting, I find really interesting about that, is that these four concepts are based on the teachings of the ancient Mayan culture. So these teachings have been around for centuries, and yet here we are in the modern world with the information age and everything everything that you could possibly want, pretty much at your fingertips, and incredible concepts like this have not been to the brought into the forefront of our lives. So that's my thought on that. The second part of our call, we're kind of running out of time here. This morning we went into talking about business strategies versus hobby strategies, and how people treat their businesses like more like a hobby than they actually do a business, which is really what keeps people from enjoying and seeing real success in their business. We talked about the law of income. John, you want to give us tell everybody what the law of income states?
The law of income states that you or I will be paid in direct proportion to the value I deliver according to the marketplace. And just to sum up that definition is you're paid in direct correlation to what it is that you provide. Provided you have a valuable product and a valuable service, and how much of that you can deliver, and how much of that people want, and how much of that is already available out, that will determine your income. So I'll say the definition one more time, is that the law of income states that I will be paid in direct proportion to the value I deliver according to the marketplace.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I want to put a little twist on that, because there's two key things in here that I think can be easily overlooked. According to the marketplace, okay, the value that I deliver according to the marketplace. I think that's a real key factor you've got to really pay attention to, because what it's saying is that it's not the value that you deliver according to you. It's not the value that you deliver,
Absolutely.
According to what you think you're delivering. to the marketplace. It is the marketplace in and of itself, and how you can tell how much value you're delivering to that marketplace is to look at your bottom line. If it's not where it should be, then obviously you're not delivering the value that the marketplace is seeking. So that's a real key thing, I think, to look into on this. And actually, that's where the finishing up of the call went today, was looking at the four factors of your value in the marketplace and how to determine what your value is within that marketplace. And we only got to two of the four today, but the first one was demand. And so so let me just really quick. Let me just rephrase that. The fourth, what we're looking for here is how you determine what your value is within the marketplace. So if your bottom line isn't where it should be, if you're not actually delivering the value that the market has room for, then how do you determine what value you are delivering so that you can improve on it? Well, the number one factor to that is the demand. And give us a little run on what that means, John.
The demand is how much do people want your product and your service. Do you have something that people want, and are people willing to pay for it? And how much are they willing to pay for your product or service?
Absolutely, yeah, that's it. I mean, that's pretty much it right there. You want to go, like I said, we'll get into this a little bit more on tomorrow's call, because we'll obviously be reviewing these since we only got the two of them today. So I just want to throw this out. The second factor here is supply. And what does the supply basically mean, John?
Supply. One attribute of supply is how much of your product and service that you're offering people is already available in the marketplace. And when you look at what's already out there available, what can you bring to the market that's different than everybody else? It's called a unique selling proposition. What unique selling proposition can you bring to a marketplace that's already maybe possibly saturated with what you have to offer? And supply could also mean how much can you actually deliver to the marketplace when your product is in high demand. One quick little thing about supply is when you're getting into a business, you want to look at possibly getting into something that in the market that the market hasn't already been saturated with. And then when there is competition, create a unique selling proposition so that you can stand out and supply something unique or add something unique to your product and your service.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody's heard supply and demand. It's all about supply and demand. Who wants it, and how much how much is there of it? And but has anybody really ever, have you ever really looked in-depthly into the key factors of supply and demand, and how to create or examine how much of each that there is in your market for your product or service? So those were the factors that we got to today. The third factor we're going to look at on tomorrow is quality, and then of course we'll get into the fourth factor as well. So this is where we'll be picking up tomorrow. We're pretty much out of time here today, so I just want to say that the four agreements are something that I hope you were taking notes as we started out, that you were taking notes on the four agreements, because that really is a high quality way to live your life and to grow your business and to achieve success in anything and everything that you do. And these business strategies that we're getting into here are going to be a good stepping stone for you to take your business to the next level. So with that, call Romero, wellpost.ciscoglobal.com. I am out of here for the day. And John, adios.
Are we live?
Yeah, I was throwing it over to you.
Still live. I'd just like to add one thought. We've got 1 minute here. Is like Paul said, use those four agreements in your life. And also, I want to get more into this on future calls, but treating your business like a business and not treating it like a hobby is the difference between success and just getting by. And let's end today, Paul, with the Napoleon Hill prayer, as we do on our training calls, and that's, O
Yeah.
universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth, in the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I might desire. So with that, everybody go out there, make it a great day, take some action, and we'll see you all back here at 7:45 Arizona time tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye-bye.